Obviously, you guys know where the draft is this year in Pittsburgh. I can tell you that the community is really excited. We're all excited. It's a great place to host a draft, and can't wait for the rest of the world to get to know Pittsburgh a little more, because it's a special and unique place. Before I take any questions, I'll just mention, Coach McCarthy's been on the job for about a month. And it's been a grind, but it's been tremendous. I personally have learned a lot through the process, and Steelers haven't done this in a long time, but it's been great, and a lot of work, a lot of conversations, good discussions. But that's where we're at, and I personally I'm really excited and have enjoyed the process. Coach McCarthy has been great. So happy to take any questions.
More from the con artist here in just a second, Steelers fans, but I just wanted to let you guys know that we are going to have extensive coverage of the NFL Scouting Combine for your Pittsburgh Steelers all throughout Combine Week. We have a whole crew of people in Indianapolis to get clips from interviews, all that different stuff, to let you guys know every single player that is meeting with the Steelers this week, as well as the latest rumors surrounding free agency and, of course, the NFL Draft coming up and what the Steelers are looking to add to their roster as we approach the 2026 NFL season. So make sure you guys click that subscribe button, join the over 100,000 strong that are already a part of our Steelers Talk family here on the channel. And with that, let's take it back to Omar Khan.
Yeah, like all the fans, we're all searching for the next franchise, player. This guy's going to be our quarterback for 10 to 15 years, and it might be Will. We don't know. We're excited to work with Will. Really liked him coming out last year. Unfortunately, he got hurt, and we didn't get a chance to see him in the preseason. But he, we've watched his progression in practice, and it's been exciting. And I know the new coaching staff, specifically Coach McCarthy, is excited to work with him. Really liked him coming out. Yeah, it's not. That's not specific just to the quarterback position. That's every position. We're looking for franchise type guys at every position. So it's certainly important. The door's open to have Aaron back. I've had conversations with him. I spoke to him last week. Mike McCarthy spoke to him, and he knows how we feel about him. And right now we're proceeding. He's a free agent and he's not on the roster. So, but he knows how we feel about him.
When you and Mike turned on that practice game, what traits or areas of the game specifically did you see that you really liked started his tenure with you guys?
Yeah. So the one thing is the speed of the game, right? The anticipation. That just kind of comes with playing at this level. It's different than it is at the college level, but we saw that improve every week, and there's a lot to like. That's a question for Aaron. I mean, he knows how we feel, and I think we know how he feels about us. It was a good experience for both sides. Unfortunately, we didn't reach our goals on winning the games that we wanted to win at the end. But there's a mutual respect there. Yeah, I think the circumstances are a little different, but just conversations we had. I think neither side wants to have this drag on like it did last year. Yeah, so there's several traits, but I'll say we have to find the right quarterback that's going to be an AFC North quarterback. Playing in the AFC North, there's nothing like it. The cold weather, the rivalries, the division, the physicality of the division. So it's got to be a AFC North quarterback. Yeah, what was the first part of the question?
Yeah, just how is the portal and that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so you have to have an understanding of where they've been, who coached them at the previous school, who's coaching them now, scheme, players that are around them. There's a lot of different factors, and, a lot of the pressure falls on our scouts because they're the ones that want to know. When Coach McCarthy and I ask him questions, we want to know everything right away, so. Yeah, he's been great. You know what, Jenna, we really haven't had that much time to think about it. It's just been fluid. I mean, we have been grinding nonstop, so we don't have a choice other than to communicate often. And we've really got to know each other a lot and understand how he thinks. He understands how I think, and it's been a learning process. But it's been a grind, a good grind.
Since you took over as a GM, I think 13 years drafted a couple of those practice guys. What do you see in the Big Ten that brings to the draft everything?
Yeah, that's just sort of how it worked out. But there's some good. I mean, it speaks to the talent in the Big Ten. There's a lot of talent, a lot of good players there, and our scouts spent a lot of time there, and it's just sort of how it worked out. I'd say all options are on the table right now. Yeah. Yeah, both players are free agents, like you mentioned. And both players are. We'd like to have both of them back. We'll see how it shakes out.
Omar, you get Pat Fryer moved a significant extension 2 years ago. How would you evaluate the investment there? How do you see it?
Yeah, well, we paid Pat for a reason, and we expect him to be a big part of the offense this year. I know the new coaching staff likes him. They're excited to work with him. He represents us well, and Pat's a Steeler.
Along those lines, with he and Johnny Smith, highest paid players at that position, do you feel like with the roster constructed that way, you got what you wanted out of them, or do you feel like in some ways they take a shot out of them?
You can't ever have enough good players at a specific position. With respect to the monetary part of your question, I'd say we're in a good cap position, so we have flexibility to do different things. And obviously, we haven't been in a position where we're paying the quarterback position at the top level. So we've had flexibility to where maybe you can go heavy at a specific position.
Omar, do you see Patrick get back? I know he's going to that contract year. Do you see him being a part of this team long-term?
Yeah, it's been a good experience with Pat. He's got a unique skill set. I know he's been in contact with the new coaches, and they're getting to know him, and he's getting to know them. And it's been a good experience, and expect him to contribute.
Omar, did you see enough communicate the way he
Yeah, obviously what you guys saw on the field was disappointing. It's got to be better, but we see it on the practice field. We knew what he did in college, and I'd expect Caleb to turn the corner. Yeah, that's a good question. I've talked about how you guys have heard me talk about my belief in Roman. I think Roman's a talented player, and I expect him to contribute. I know the coaching staff is excited to work with him, and his rookie year, he got hurt, and that was a little bit of a setback. And last year, the opportunities didn't come. I think like everybody would have liked, but I think he's got a good future.
What's been missing with Roman that didn't give him the opportunity?
Yeah, so the first year obviously was the injuries. He was sorry, Brian McFadden over there waving at me. He was the first year he got hurt, and I think at the end we were getting ready to start the window for him to practice, and we got eliminated from the playoffs. And then last year, different situations. There were different things, and there's not one specific thing, but I'm confident you guys are going to see some good things from him this year. Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good question. I'll just say, look, the approach we take is we try to get as many good players at every position as we can, and let it shake out from there. You just that's the right approach for us. I can't speak for anyone else, but I'm excited. We've been talking about this for a long time. Pittsburgh's such a special place. It's unique. Where it's going to be held, it's pretty exciting, and it's going to be it's going to be great not only for the local people, but I just can't wait for I have lots of friends. I'm getting a ton of requests, and I'm sure a lot of people are about passes, what's going on, what to do, and I'm just excited to show off the city. Yeah, we have options. So, I'd love to be able to stand here every year and say I have 12 picks. I'll take that right now. It just gives us options. So.
Omar, I know that Mike was responsible for constructing his staff. One of the guys that he held over was Tom Martin. How important is it for someone like Will Howard's development to have that continuity at the quarterback position?
Yeah. So Mike, Tom Arth and Mike McCarthy have some history together, but Tom's done an awesome job with those guys. I know those players really like him, the young guys, the older guys, and it's important. He's here for a reason.
Omar, could you just talk a little bit about Tomlin on a personal watching? What are you going to miss a fun time, something that resonates about?
Yeah, his passion for the game of football was very unique. Like, he just loves ball, and just like I had a great. It was an honor and privilege. I mentioned this earlier to work with side by side with Mike, but. His passion and his positivity when it comes to players. I mean, I could sign every single one of you guys, and he would try to find something that you guys could do in the football field. It's just his approach is it's pretty unique.
How much have you seen Mike or talked to him since the day about a month ago?
We've talked on the phone a couple times. I think maybe once I've seen him. Well, how long has it been? It's been what? I don't even know. What, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, whatever it's been. So yeah, we've talked on the phone a few times, but I think just once.
Before last season, you were talking about the wide receiver position. You said it felt like it was a different situation than we've been doing. After seeing the way they played out, in retrospect, do you feel like you did enough to address that position, or do you feel like you would have done it differently?
Yeah, I don't think we were good enough overall. We didn't win a single playoff game. That's not good enough. So we have to be better at every position.
First of all, I was throwing out Washington's arm. What do you credit his success from year 2 to 3?
Yeah, I mean, his arm's fine, by the way. No, should be no restrictions, no issues. It's just him, who he is, and I expect him to get even better. And he had more opportunities too.
Is it a tough evaluation now, with going into a potential contract year?
A tough evaluation. I'll take 20 of them. Yeah, no, he's a guy we want here long term. I think to when your question is, we're in good cap shape, so we have the flexibility to maybe do some things that might not be normal in people's eyes, but we have that flexibility. So the key is just keep as many of our good players under contract and locking them up. That's important. I really believe we have a good young nucleus of guys that are deserving of second contracts.
Guys, two more.
When you mean like online? Yeah, I don't use be candid. Like I don't go online and read mock drafts. That's not me. But we have our own system of how we evaluate and judge different scenarios of what other people could do. And we study it, but until you don't know what the other 31 teams are thinking, so we're all guessing.
Last one.
If you look at our contracts, I don't really like to talk about specifics. That's not really, you don't see a lot of those in our contracts, but it's just a different technique. Different people use it for different reasons. You'd probably have to ask them why they choose to do it that way. I believe in the way we've done it and the system. It's worked for us, and like I said, we've managed it in the right way for us.